Hey guys, it's Christy at the Paper Lion. Welcome back to my channel. Ignore the white paint and stuff on my hands. I was doing a little bit of stenciling before I started this video. But today I'm going to show you a version of these. A creator who has a page on YouTube, when I did my Temu haul, she wanted to see how I was going to use my vellum. So this is basically a video kind of inspired by her request. I will link her channel. Well, I will try to link her channel down in the description box, because I should have done my research and called her name, looked up her name before the video, but I didn't. So this one is going to be inspired by that request. So what we're going to be doing, I did these like about a week ago, and they really didn't go with the theme that I wanted for my Woodland Fairy journal that I'm currently creating. So I thought I'd come in and make a version of this for the Woodland Fairy. So we're going to be using some different colors, but I'll show you what I did. First, before the video started, as I said, I was doing some stenciling. So I went ahead on the back side and stenciled like this really nice fern with some paste that I got from Hobby Lobby. If anybody needs any, it's called modeling paste. I got gesso at first, thinking that this was gesso, and I ended up taking it back because this is a lot thicker than gesso. Anyway, so on the back, I've already pre-stenciled using the modeling paste this fern so that it could already be dry, because that does need time to dry. I did have like a little accident, so I went ahead and glued a little butterfly cutout on there to kind of hide that, but it's going to be hidden in the back anyway, because as you can see on this one, I have a journaling card that comes out being held in place by this little tuck on the back. And on this one, I have the excuse me, I just said the word, the stenciling on the back. But anyway, let's get into the video. So we're going to flip this over, because this is essentially going to be our backside. The one that has the stenciling is the backside of our little, I guess I can call it like a tag or ephemera holder, because you can put it will have a pocket and tuck, so you can put different things in. But first, let's go ahead and do some of the components. In my original one, I used these place cards, and this is like a nice heavy card stock, and it's got like some embossing. I don't have an embossing machine, so I can't replicate that. But for you, those of you who cannot find, like, because this was a vintage, these two came out of a vintage pack of place card. So if you can't find those, you can easily use decorator paper or cardstock to replicate this project. And I'm going to be doing that today by using this. This paper comes from this pack of Tim Holtz ideology. It's called Worn Wallpaper. I'm not sure if this one if you can get this one anymore, because this was made in 2018. But I'm pretty sure if you look around, maybe online, somebody might have some old new stock of it that they're selling. But it's called Worn Wallpaper, and it's got 12 designs, 2 of each. So it's like 24 pieces in here. But anyway, so we're going to be using that, and of course I'll be using some tags to stick in there later, and I'll show you that. But first, we're going to create our place card, or our journaling card, on the back, and I'll show you how I do mine. I basically just take, and since I'm going to be using the back side of that, it doesn't matter if it gets a little ink on it. I just basically take my ink. I'm using Vintage Photo for this, and I'm going to distress this lightly. Just kind of keep this down here to this end, since I know this is going to be the end that I'm going to be covering. And I like to distress my index cards like this because, first of all, once you soak them in tea, to me, I don't really like the texture that they come out afterwards. They're really kind of weak. So I kind of like to do mine like this, and it's fast and easy, already dry. And what we're going to do is take this and glue it to the back of this, because we're going to essentially be backing it with this, and this will be our journal inside. So it's Sunday morning here. We had a little bit of rain this morning. My daughter is upset because we were supposed to go fishing today, but because it's muddy outside, I decided that we would have to postpone it until next weekend, till next Sunday. So she's not too happy, but I don't control the weather. So we are just going to put this right here, and that fits perfectly at the end of there, so we don't have to do much trimming with that. So this is like just a standard index card. And then we're just going to go and cut that right off. And then what I did on my other one was I just rounded my corners. And then inked the edges. And if you like, you can go back through later and decorate this, add stickers to it, however you want to do it. But for the sake of my journaling card, I just wanted to leave it, blankish, so that someone would have the opportunity to decorate it however they like. That's how I create. I only go so far in my decorating because I like people to actually use their creativity to finish their journal and make it their masterpiece. Like, I want other people to be able to make it theirs. If you get a journal and it's already, every page or every piece of paper is already drawn on, or whatever, it just doesn't really give you an opportunity to highlight your creativity. Okay, so next, now that we've got this little journaling card that's going to go on the back, we're going to go ahead and recreate this piece using some of this material here. So for those who would like to know, this is 4 by 4. I kind of figured that was a 4 by 4. So we are going to cut. You can, if you don't have a cutting machine, you can just simply put a mark here, there, and meet in the middle when you're cutting. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bring out my little cutting tool really quick. I pulled out my smallest one. I don't really use this one very often, and I'm going to be honest, this is the one that I'm least familiar with. So let's see if I can't get this right. And I believe this is going to be, let me see. Oh God, I really, okay, let's see if 5 here. So I'm imagining that this is, and no, that's not going to be 4. This is going to be 4 inches. And before I cut that, I just want to make sure Yes, okay. Just want to make sure, like I said, I'm not very familiar with this one, this board. And since it doesn't have full written on there, I just wanted to make sure before I ruin my paper. So I'm just going to take that off really quick. I guess I can close this since I don't need that. And then we're going to go here, back here. And if the measurements are not like 100%, if you wanted to do yours at, 3 by 3, that's totally up to you. All right, so let's put that away. All right, so now we have this, essentially this, and we're just basically going to fold it in the middle. Making sure that we get that as even as possible lined up. Just finish that off with that. All right, and now we basically have that. Okay, for this little piece, I'm not going to recreate this one, but I'll give you the measurements. It's basically doing the same thing that I did with that. You can choose to round your corners like these are, or you can leave it square. However you want is up to you. And this is a 3 3/4, 3 3/4 by roughly 3 inches. 3 3/4 by 3 inches. Okay, so let's move into this vellum. This is the vellum that I got from Temu. And there was some really pretty, well, it wasn't only vellum. It was like, it's called fragments, and it had a bunch of different designs in it. Well, like smaller papers. Some of them were like, different, colors with pretty botanicals and flowers, and well, botanicals are flowers, and insects. So I'm going to be using this one today. I don't know if you can see that, but let me see if I can highlight that for you. Can you see that better now? This one has like music and writing and butterflies and dragonflies on it with some stamps and stamp marks. So that's the one that I'm going to be using today. So first off, I'm going to, on the back side, I'm going to go ahead and create my back tuck. And I noticed that this is going to be completely matching. I don't know if I like that. I really did not think about that to begin with. So maybe I will take another piece of paper and create an alternate to that. Yeah, I don't really think I like that matching like that. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I went ahead and chose an alternate color because I didn't really like that being together. So I think that complements that well. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that a little bit before I glue it on. And I want to have the crease inked as well. So now we're just going to create our back tuck on here. And so I am going to glue it down here and here to create my tuck. And kind of just decide where you want it to be. Try to get it close to the middle. Okay. So a problem that I ran into when I was making the other ones, I don't know if you could be able to see this, but the vellum kind of buckles a little bit if you glue it directly to this piece first. So this is why I'm going in with this one, and I'm going to be going in the opposite way just to see if I can possibly alleviate that by placing this down and then pressing it down here where it needs to be. That way it will lay flat. So for that, I'm just going to add this little piece of glue here. And you'll see why I'm not going completely up in just a few. You'll see exactly why I'm not going to go all the way over the whole and glue the whole entire piece to the card. There's going to be two reasons for that. So what I'm going to do this time is line this up where it's completely flat. And then I'm just going to bring this over. And I think that will eliminate the buckling of the vellum. I think that solved it. It looks like it solved it. So let's hope. So now we're going to move on to the next part. It still wants to warble a little bit. So I guess maybe it's just working with vellum. You just have to deal with it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open that back up. And as with all vellum, when you glue it, it becomes really kind of nasty. Well, not nasty, but kind of wrinkly. So to combat that, I'm using one of these little guys also that I got from Temu. And these are like little washi sticker type things. And this color packet will go well with the theme that I'm using for the journal, since it's got a lot of nature things in it. And so I think I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to place that right over there. That way you will not be able to see that glue. Let me open this one up and see if I put it over. How did I add that in? Okay, and then I added a little bit of washi tape, which I do not have at the table at the moment, but I'll go grab that in a second. Actually, I probably can just put this like that, but no, I wanted to hide that seam. Okay, so let's go ahead and ink this one a little bit. Okay. Oh, don't pull it off too fast, because I do want to add a little bit of glue to reinforce it. So we're just going to put that down right there. And that will cover that glue, that warp spot that comes along when you're gluing vellum. So now that that's covered, let me go grab some washi tape that will match this, and I will be right back. Okay, so I didn't find a piece of washi that I absolutely loved. My options were not that great as far as like the botanicals or greens, so I really need to remedy that. So note to myself. So what I'm going to do instead is just put a piece of lace down to cover that. And we're going to do that right about there. Cover that. So this is how you can like improvise if you need to, which I'm pretty sure all of you are familiar with improvising in your projects or improvising in life. If you don't know how to improvise, you're going to be stuck. So let's just put this down. Let's see if I need to put it here. Yeah, I think maybe I just needed to put it over there. I'm just going to wipe this excess glue off before it causes any harm. This video is all about improvising. If it doesn't work one way, try it another way. And again, as I always say, that's the beauty of getting on camera with stuff. It never goes how you plan it. Okay, so now we know that this will fold over. And I can always go back later on and put that under something heavy to fold that down perfectly. So for right now, we're going to move on and we're going to take some more lace that I got from Temu. I didn't get this lace from Temu. I got that one from an estate sale this past weekend. There was a crafter there and they had a huge, just a huge craft room that I think probably had once been a sunroom or something. And they had all this great stuff. They had, apparently they worked with like pottery. They worked with, all kinds of things, because this one of these little medallions that I'm going to be using in my journal, my Woodland Fairy Journal, they made these too. The lady was an artist. I'll have to look up her name, but she made all kinds of stuff. And she had tons of fabrics. I got feathers. I got art. I got all kinds of things that I bought from that estate sale. But anyway, this lace that I'm going to be using here is from Temu. And I think this one, I showcased this one in my Temu haul. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I'm just going to measure it out here to the bottom and then kind of cut it to where I need it. And I think that was right there. Let's just say right here. Okay, we're just a hair. Okay. Let's put that over there. And let's gauge how far down we need to be. I'm going to glue directly here. Hope I'm not blocking too much. I really like this pattern of lace that I got from Temu. It was only like 89 cents for, let's see if it says on the package how many yards it was. It was for 2 yards. 2 yards for 89 cents. And it's not bad. I really like the pattern on it. But I noticed with this one, the stitch is a little fluffy on there. So in some spots, I guess it gets a little bit fluffy. I didn't see that on the other pieces that I used. Okay, so let's blot a little bit of this glue out. Okay, and we'll set that aside. While that is drying, we'll go ahead and take our other little place card. Of course, this would be a place where you can use just regular cardstock if you don't have these place cards, and just improvise and go from there. I gave you the measurements earlier. So we are going to stamp this. We're going to stamp it up a bit. I'm just going to pull something from over here as my backing. And I'll probably end up using that as a journaling card, so it won't matter if I get a little stamping on the back of it, because it'll probably end up getting backed with coffee dyed paper or something like that. So I think I'm pretty safe to use that for my stamping. And so I'm just going to go horizontally on this paper and kind of see if I can just kind of gauge where I need to be. And we're just going to stamp this with some script because this is going to kind of be in the background of another piece that I got from Temu. Okay. All right. So for this one, let me see, what did I do? So we are going to go back in here and choose another image. That one's pretty. Oh, I like this one with the flowers. So let's choose that one. I'm trying to make this video simple and quick, or as quick as possible. And choose that. I'm not going to deliberate too much. All right. And so we are going to just glue this right here to give that some interest. And so then this becomes like another small little journaling space. And then I'm going to go ahead and just in here where I'm going to glue it, I have to just put a little bit of glue where the sticker itself will be. All right, and that's done. Okay, so now this is coming together. This is going to fold over. Okay, so I guess it just really doesn't matter what you do with this vellum. It's gonna just crease. And that's okay, because once you tie your ribbon to it, it'll be fine. So this little journaling spot that we created right here is gonna basically tucks right there. And we'll set that to the side. And I'm gonna pull out another piece. Throw that away. Another piece of, well, another little collection of things that I got from Temu. This was their retro collection, and it's just another set of kind of like washi stickers, and we're going to find one that complements this theme. The one with the bird's nest is pretty. Let's set that one aside. Oh, those birds are pretty too. Huh. Oh, so is that. Okay. There's so many pretty little pieces in here. Okay, let's choose from one of these three. And let's see which one would be prettier. This one, that one, or this one. I think this one gives the most contrast, but to make sure it does contrast, instead of just going with the vintage photo, I'm going to actually use the walnut stain to ink around this one. That way it gives it a darker border to kind of really set it apart from the other. Okay. again, we're going to just get a little bit of glue in there just for reinforcement. And these stickers that I've gotten from Temu, I noticed that the majority of them are really easy to peel. And I do like that. Okay. Just going to put that there. And what I did with the other one, I just created a little border with the lace. On this one, because it was pale and just like plain, I stamped this little trio of birds to kind of correspond with this little bird. But because this one is patterned, I don't really know how well that would look. So I think I'm going to leave that off of this one. And I just absolutely love this little trim that I got from Hobby Lobby. And it was on clearance. I think it was $2.99 originally, and I think I got it for like 49 cents or like $1.10 or something like that. But I absolutely just love it. It has that really sweet vintage feel or like look to it, and I just absolutely love it. They only have one roll, unfortunately, because if they had more, I would have definitely bought more, because this is one of my favorite little trims to use. And so we're just going to basically put that there at the border of that little image to give that some detail. I think that's so sweet. And I'll come back later and trim that bit off. Okay, so it's looking really nice so far. And we're basically almost done with this ephemera holder, because then this is going to go here. And then in the back, we're going to be tucking our index card journaling spot that we made. That gets tucked in there. And then that's right, I did bring something else out. Since I can't really glue like stamp right there, I decided I would do like a little flower. So this little set of flowers also came from Temu. It was like 50 in a thing for like maybe 99 cents. I was kind of hoping that they were actual like paper flowers, like the flat kind, but they're like the kind that you pull off of the like little stem thing for like the sprays. So I wasn't too happy with that. So I had to go through and cut some of the back part off to make it to where I can use it like in flat projects like this. So we're going to stick that there. Oh my gosh, I think that is so sweet. And this green themed one is going to go so perfect with my my Woodland Fairy journal. Okay, and the one last piece that I want to add here before I add ribbons, I also did a tutorial on how to do faux wood burning to like these little little wooden hearts that you can find at the Dollar Tree. And so I'm going to just use one of those as like a little edge piece up here. And then we'll add some tags, and then we'll be done. So we're just going to pop that down right there. Give that a moment to dry. And then I previously created these pretty little tags. I'll probably make a video later on of how I created these tags. And just for the sake of the video, I'm going to be popping these in just so you can see how it looks with tags and stuff in it. So we can just kind of open that back up, and we can pop those down in there. And then so you've got your, and we're basically done. And I'm just going to tie it with the ribbon that I already had using for the other one. You can choose other ribbon. You can choose to put elastic, whatever you want to do. You don't even have to do anything. You can take a paper clip and bind it together with a paper clip if you want to do that as well. All right, so this is our ephemera holder that we made today using some vellum that I got from Temu. And on the back side, there is a really nice stenciled fern. We've got a back tuck pocket that you can tuck some things into if you want to tuck little pieces in there with that, however you want to do it. And then we got our journaling card that was simple to make. Easy way of distressing it without putting it into, tea or coffee. That distressing took like less than a minute. And then there's also space here that you can journal. You can come back and add another pocket there if you want to. And then on the front, we have our lace pocket that you can slide ephemera or tags in very easily. Stick some little extra things off in there. We've got, you can't see where our vellum got warped. And then we've got this tuck spot here and also a journaling card. You can choose to ink that. Let's go ahead and do a little inking on that. I still have the walnut stain, but that's okay too. Make sure you get into the little crevices. All right. And then after that, you can choose to whatever lace or ribbon you want to complement your ephemera holder. Me and my youngest daughter picked out this one. We thought it looked really good with all of the greens throughout. So I let her help me pick that out. She's 8 years old and already has an eye for coordination. I love it. So anyway, we're just going to take this lace, this lace, and tie it around to finish our piece off. If you want your ribbon to be more fancy, you can add more, make it longer so you can really make a big bow, or you can make a small bow. You don't even have to make a bow, however you want to do it. And then that is how we are going to finish it off. I hope you guys decide to make this beautiful project. I think it turned out absolutely gorgeous. This is going to fit in so well with my Woodland Fairy Journal. I don't know. It's Sunday and I can't talk for some reason. But anyway, I think it's very, very sweet, very easy to use. It's got a lot of little places that you can tuck things. It's got journaling spaces, and it's got everything. You can choose to go around and ink if you want to. You can round these corners if you want to. What you do with your project is completely up to you. But I appreciate you guys for spending this time to be here with me as I created this ephemera holder for my Woodland Journal, and my Woodland Fairy Journal. And I appreciate your time. Everybody's time is precious, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you've liked anything in this video. All the support I can get as a new creator here will definitely help in the long run. All right, see you guys in the next video. Bye.